In this podcast episode, Theo welcomes Senator JD Vance, a Republican from Ohio, who is currently running for vice president. Vance shares insights into his upbringing, which was marked by challenges, particularly due to his mother's struggles with addiction. He reflects on the duality of emotions he experienced as a child, feeling both compassion for his mother and frustration at her inability to overcome her addiction. Vance's narrative highlights the complexities of familial relationships affected by substance abuse, emphasizing the importance of understanding and empathy. He acknowledges that growing up in such an environment shaped his worldview, instilling in him a desire to help others and advocate for those who are vulnerable. The senator also discusses the transformative power of recovery, particularly in his mother's journey toward sobriety. He expresses gratitude for her progress, noting that she will soon celebrate 10 years of being clean. This milestone not only signifies personal victory for his mother, but also represents a second chance for their family. Vance's reflections on his mother's recovery underscore the broader theme of redemption and the potential for change, even in the face of significant adversity. The conversation shifts to the topic of sports, with Vance revealing his passion for football, particularly his loyalty to Ohio State University. He recounts the intense rivalry between Ohio State and Michigan, sharing a humorous story about a friend who was less than gracious to a young Michigan fan after a game. This anecdote serves as a reminder of the emotional investment people have in sports and how it can evoke strong reactions, both positive and negative. Vance's love for football is evident, and he expresses excitement about attending a Packers game, highlighting the cultural significance of sports in American life. Vance also reflects on the emotional roller coaster that comes with being a sports fan, particularly the heartbreak of watching one's team lose. He candidly shares his experiences as a Bengals fan, illustrating the deep connection fans have with their teams and the impact of sports on their lives. The topic of addiction resurfaces as Vance discusses the broader implications of substance abuse in society. He highlights the devastating impact of the opioid crisis, particularly the role of pharmaceutical companies in perpetuating addiction. Vance's insights into the origins of the crisis, including the aggressive marketing of opioids, reveal a deep understanding of the systemic issues at play. He expresses concern for the future, particularly regarding the dangers posed by fentanyl and other synthetic drugs that have infiltrated communities across the country. Vance's personal connection to addiction informs his perspective on the issue, as he emphasizes the need for compassion and understanding for those struggling with substance abuse. He advocates for a multifaceted approach to addressing addiction, including prevention, treatment, and support for families affected by the crisis. The conversation transitions to the topic of healthcare, with Vance addressing the challenges faced by Americans in accessing affordable medical care. He discusses the need for price transparency in the healthcare system, emphasizing that patients should have the right to know the costs associated with their care. Vance's critique of the current system reveals a deep frustration with the lack of accountability among healthcare providers and insurance companies, who often obscure pricing information. Vance draws attention to the disparities in healthcare costs between the United States and other countries, highlighting the exorbitant prices Americans pay for prescription drugs. He argues that the pharmaceutical industry has a vested interest in maintaining the status quo, as transparency would expose the inflated prices that consumers face. The role of lobbyists in shaping policy is another significant topic of discussion. Vance candidly shares his experiences with lobbyists in Washington, D.C., noting that their influence can often overshadow the voices of elected officials. He expresses concern about the growing number of lobbyists in the Capitol and the impact this has on the legislative process. Vance argues that the current system favors those with financial resources, making it difficult for ordinary citizens to have their voices heard. Vance's insights into the lobbying industry reveal a complex web of relationships that can complicate the decision-making process for lawmakers. He advocates for reforms that would limit the influence of lobbyists and ensure that elected officials prioritize the needs of their constituents. The conversation takes a turn toward the influence of social media on public discourse and political engagement. Vance expresses concern about the rapid spread of misinformation and the impact this has on people's perceptions of reality. He argues that social media has created an environment where individuals are more likely to engage in echo chambers, reinforcing their existing beliefs rather than fostering open dialogue. This phenomenon, he suggests, has contributed to the polarization of American society. Vance's critique of social media highlights the challenges faced by politicians and public figures in navigating the digital landscape. He emphasizes the importance of authenticity and genuine communication, urging individuals to think critically about the information they consume. As the conversation progresses, Vance reflects on the future of American politics and the potential for meaningful change. He expresses optimism about the possibility of a new generation of leaders who are willing to challenge the status quo and prioritize the needs of their constituents. Vance believes that the current political landscape is ripe for transformation as more individuals become disillusioned with traditional party politics. Vance's vision for the future includes a focus on issues that resonate with everyday Americans, such as healthcare, education, and economic opportunity. He emphasizes the importance of grassroots movements and community engagement in driving change, encouraging listeners to become active participants in the political process. Education emerges as a key theme in the conversation, with Vance discussing its impact on individual opportunity and societal well-being. He highlights the disparities in educational attainment and the correlation between education and life expectancy. Vance argues that access to quality education is essential for empowering individuals and breaking the cycle of poverty. He advocates for policies that prioritize educational equity and ensure that all children have the opportunity to succeed. Vance's reflections on education also touch on the importance of vocational training and alternative pathways to success. He emphasizes that not everyone needs to pursue a traditional four-year degree to achieve their goals, and that society should value diverse forms of education and skill development. Throughout the conversation, Vance underscores the significance of community in addressing the challenges facing society. He emphasizes the need for individuals to come together to support one another, particularly in times of crisis. Vance's personal experiences with addiction and recovery inform his perspective on the importance of community support systems, as he recognizes the role that relationships play in fostering resilience and healing. Vance advocates for policies that strengthen community ties and promote collaboration among individuals and organizations. He believes that by working together, communities can address pressing issues such as addiction, healthcare access, and economic opportunity. Faith emerges as a recurring theme in the conversation, with Vance discussing its significance in his life and the lives of others. He reflects on the role of faith in providing hope and resilience in the face of adversity, particularly for those struggling with addiction. Vance emphasizes the importance of community and shared values in fostering a sense of belonging and support.